Welcome back to Only Talk Sports. We talk sports every single day, or at least we try to. I'm Ernest Jeffrey. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Hit that notification bell so you never miss our video. Amid all the college football transfer portal news and coaching news, college basketball has some massive news as well because five-star shooting guard / small forward in the 2024 class, Dylan Harper, he commits to Rutgers basketball. We're not talking about a blue blood program here, but this recruitment makes sense on why Dylan Harper went to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. But I'm going to break down everything about this recruitment and why this is such a massive win for Rutgers and how it will affect their 2024-2025 basketball season. Now, Dylan Harper, a lot of people will be like, why is he going to Rutgers? It doesn't make sense. Why doesn't he go to a Duke or a Kansas or an Indiana? Three other programs that were recruiting him, all blue blood programs. But Rutgers was on his list because Dylan Harper is the younger brother of Ron Harper Jr., the former Rutgers guard who did a lot of great things for the program. Him and Geo Baker, they led Rutgers to the NCAA tournament, something that Rutgers is not normally known for doing. They've always struggled in basketball for the most part. They've had their moments throughout history, but Steve Pikiell, the current Rutgers head basketball coach, has done a fantastic job, and he's even been able to up the type of players that Rutgers gets. Cliff Amori, a guy that's been a center for Rutgers for the past few years, he was a four-star recruit, but now Rutgers is starting to land the five-star recruits. They're getting the massive names to commit to the program because not only did Dylan Harper commit to Rutgers basketball this year, they also got Ace Bailey as well. Ace Bailey is a small forward who's 6'8", and he committed to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. So you got Dylan Harper that's going to be playing shooting guard. He can also handle the basketball as well. We'll get to the things that he is good at and the things that he might not be as good at in a few minutes. But Ace Bailey is a really good player as well that committed to Rutgers in the top 5 in the recruiting rankings. And you never see Rutgers basketball get 2 of the 5 highest ranked players in the 247 sports class. Obviously, you see Cooper Flagg. I talked about him committing to Duke a while back. That was a massive win for the Blue Devils, but that's expected. Not for Rutgers, but Dylan Harper, because of the fact he has the ties to the Rutgers program through his brother, that's why Rutgers was able to win out in this recruitment. And I believe Ace Bailey already being committed to Rutgers did not hurt as well because Dylan Harper is going to be playing next to one of the best true freshmen in college basketball next year with Ace Bailey. And now you're going to have Dylan Harper as well. That's going to be a fantastic tandem. You talk about as well some of the other guys they've got in the recruiting class. There's 3 more players that are not highly rated, but Lathan Somerville, Bryce Dortch, and Dylan Grant, they're all 3-star recruits. So this is a loaded class for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. 2 5-star players and 3 3-star players. A fantastic job recruiting by Steve Pikiell. This is what I wrote on Twitter. I said, massive recruiting win for Rutgers. Dylan Harper chose Rutgers over Duke in Indiana, and Dylan Harper, the younger brother of Ron Harper Jr., who also played for Rutgers, is the highest ranked recruit in Rutgers basketball history. Barely over Ace Bailey, but it still counts. Dylan will make a big impact for Rutgers in 2024. And this is huge for the Scarlet Knights as well because they lost out on a recruit last year in Baden Nagongo. He was a 4-star recruit. He decommitted from the program. They still got Gavin Griffiths to stay. He's a really good player that's playing for Rutgers this year. But in the next class, Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey, a lot of people were wondering would Ace Bailey stay committed to the program if Dylan Harper went somewhere else. If Dylan Harper had committed to Duke, Kansas, or Indiana, would Ace Bailey have stayed? He probably would have. He seems really committed to the program, but he has been vouching for Dylan Harper to join him at the Scarlet Knights for a while, and thankfully for Ace Bailey, his prodding worked. He was able to get Dylan Harper along. But it's not just the fact that Dylan Harper is going to Rutgers basketball. What is he good at? A 247 sports evaluator have said that Harper is one of the most dynamic guards in the 2024 class. His off-the-dribble game is unreal, and he's a fairly solid passer for a guy that's 6'6". And the reason why he's probably so good of a passer is because he was a lot shorter a few years ago. He was around 6 foot, 6'1", but he's gotten a lot taller. He's grown a few inches the past few years. He's now up to 6'6", and he weighs around 215 pounds. So he has big size, kind of like his brother. He's not as big as Ron Harper Jr. He was a Mack truck at 6'5", 235. He could bully anybody that he wanted to on the floor, and he could shoot the 3 ball as well. But Dylan Harper, that is a bit of his weakness. He only shoots 34% from the 3-point line. His shot can be a little flat, so he needs to improve at that. But that's not the worst thing in the world to struggle at when you are such a dynamic player. He's got the size and length to play great defense. He can get steals. He even blocks some shots, especially over guards. And if he can continue to improve at the three-point shooting, which I'm sure he will because he is a determined athlete, and he plays super hard in high school, so you know he's going to want to do a good job at Rutgers to be able to have as good of a career as Ron Harper Jr., his older brother, had at Rutgers, if not even more. If he could lead Rutgers to a Sweet 16 or Elite 8 and presumably his one season of college basketball, because it's very hard to imagine Dylan Harper staying more than 1 year at Rutgers. He's too talented of a guy. He's going to be going to the NBA draft. But still, while Rutgers has him next year along with Ace Bailey, both those guys are studs. They're going to be great basketball players for the Scarlet Knights in 2024-2025. Rutgers is going to be a dangerous team. If they can get a couple of transfer guys to go around Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey and some of those other freshmen they have, and they can really mesh all that together, I believe Rutgers could be a top 25 squad in 2024-2025. They have not been a top 25 program consistently under Steve Pikiell. They've cracked the rankings a few times, but most of the time they're unranked. But they're one of the most pesky teams in the Big Ten. The RAC is one of the most underrated environments in the Big Ten in college basketball. Their fans, they really care about the program. Steve Pikiell has not left Rutgers for any other job, and it's paid off for the Scarlet Knights that he stayed and he's getting these high-level recruits. Will it keep continuing in the future? I don't know how long that Steve Pikiell is going to be able to continue to get high-level recruits at a program like Rutgers, especially with NIL. It's going to be really tough, but Rutgers seems to be holding their own right now, at least in college basketball, getting a guy like Dylan Harper, having that connection with Ron Harper Jr. If the Ron Harper Jr. connection did not exist, there's a good chance Dylan Harper would not have considered Rutgers at all. He probably would have gone to a blue blood program, but still, it does sometimes help to have family that went to your program. And Dylan Harper, he did not choose to go the route of a Cody Zeller, Tyler Zeller, some of these other examples where brothers did not want to play on the same team and they go to other programs. Dylan Harper, he's going to the same program as Ron Harper Jr. Ron Harper Jr. had a great legacy at Rutgers along with Geo Baker in that season where they led them to the tournament. But Dylan Harper, he has the potential to lead Rutgers to even bigger heights in his one season, presumably at the Scarlet Knights. I'm sure that Dylan Harper's not intentionally trying to outshine his brother, but Rutgers Scarlet Knight fans, they will be satisfied if Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey can lead a dynamic wing combination to be able to lead Rutgers basketball to a lot of success they have not reached in a long time, if not ever in their whole entire history of college basketball. It's going to be fun to watch. Very happy for Rutgers fans. They were able to land Dylan Harper because for a while there, it looked like he was going to be going to the Duke Blue Devils, but he chose to go to Rutgers. He's a great athlete, one of the best players off the dribble. Got to get better at the three-point shooting, but with his length, he is a great defender. He's a fantastic passer, and he is going to be a dangerous basketball player in the Big Ten next season for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights. And Steve Pikiell did a fantastic job being able to land the highest-ranked commit in Rutgers basketball history right after he landed Ace Bailey, who was previously the highest-ranked commit in Rutgers basketball history. So the future for next season, anyway, is looking very bright for the Scarlet Knights in college basketball. Subscribe to the channel if you like sports content. Like this video down below. Comment down below what you think about Dylan Harper committing to the Rutgers Scarlet Knights, whether you're surprised that he did go to Rutgers, if you thought he was going to go to Duke, Kansas, or Indiana, and whether you think that Dylan Harper and Ace Bailey can lead a dangerous wing combination for the Rutgers Scarlet Knights in the 2024 and 2025 season, and how good you think that the Scarlet Knights could possibly be next season. Follow me on Twitter as well. Link is in the description, and I will see you next time.